Hey guys, this is God of Politics, and welcome back to a brand new video. In this video, I am talking about the fact that Bernie Sanders has just won the New Hampshire primary. He was projected to win at around 11 p.m. last night. He currently, with 99% of the vote reporting, has 76,286 votes to Pete Buttigieg's 72,443 votes. In terms of pledged delegates, they each have 9 out of the total 24. This was a very close race. It was predicted to be a lot closer. I think if we look at the RCB polling average here, Bernie was up by 7.4%. He ended up winning by 1.5. But as we can see now, this has even dwindled to 1.3. So Bernie Sanders, you could actually argue, underperformed. If we're looking at the polling average, Buttigieg was at 21.3. He ended up, at the end of the day, getting 24.5. Bernie was at 28.7, and he ended up with 25.8. But the most important thing, in my opinion, to look at is Amy Klobuchar, who was polling, averaging around 11.7, ended up getting 19.9. The polls were just completely wrong about her. The best poll that she had, there were two polls that had her both at 14%, and then with not even within the margin of error, she ended up getting 6 more points than that at 20%. She got 20% of the vote. I think she was the biggest winner of the night, in my opinion. She actually won many counties on this map up here. She won some big ones too. She won some near the large population centers as well. And people are looking at Bernie Sanders as the main winner, but really, if you look at it, Bernie Sanders underperformed. If you compare it to 2016, for example, Bernie won in 2016 by 25, 30 points. Now he's only winning by 1.3, despite the fact that Elizabeth Warren only got 9.2% of the vote. Amy Klobuchar performed a lot better than expected at 19.9%, but both Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren, as I mentioned before, are both doing absolutely terrible. They combined for less vote than any of the top 3 performing candidates. You see, Tulsi Gabbard put all her eggs in one basket. She only got 3%. Steyer's waiting till South Carolina. Andrew Yang dropped out. Deval Patrick dropped out. Michael Bennet dropped out. But we do have Bernie Sanders, who was the victory in terms of the popular vote, not as much as he should have, not as much as he was expected to, but he didn't win nonetheless. Pete Buttigieg has been doing very well, though. If we're looking at the betting odds specifically, you see Pete Buttigieg did peak at 16.4 the day after the Iowa caucus. He is now at 14.6. But as you can see, another thing, Joe Biden has gone all the way down to 9.1%. Just before the Iowa caucuses, he was at 35%. He is now at 9%. This is just a dramatic drop for Joe Biden. And all of that support pretty much has gone to Michael Bloomberg. A lot of it has gone to Pete Buttigieg. Not support, but a lot of the bets have gone to Michael Bloomberg and Pete Buttigieg. Just before the Iowa caucuses, Michael Bloomberg was at a 15%, and now he is at 27%. That is a huge jump for him as well. If we're looking at just the general national polls, you see Biden took a massive drop, and not a lot of the support's actually gone to Bernie. Bernie, sure, he's been on the rise at the fault of Warren, but you see Bloomberg's been on the rise. You see Biden was at 29, 30, 27, and now he's at all the way down at 19%. A lot of support going to Bloomberg. Bloomberg was actually very close to him in some of the polls. But getting back to the New Hampshire results, sure, Bernie Sanders won. But looking at the night overall, Pete Buttigieg did better than expected. Amy Klobuchar did a lot better than expected. Warren has really shown that she's not able to win the unwinnable fights as she said she was going to. Biden just did dreadful as well, because a lot of the people, the default choice of who they're going to vote for, they say, oh, sure, I'll vote for the vice president, but then they really see and they say, oh, I'll vote for Amy Klobuchar after they've made a different decision. Maybe they think Joe Biden's too old, whatever the case is. The Klobuchar did a lot better than expected, and I think that it really shows that Warren, especially, really cannot win it all. I think Joe Biden does still have a chance. I think he even still has a chance, better than chance than Pete Buttigieg, because Pete Buttigieg has no support amongst black voters and non-white voters. Bernie, I don't think can win either, because if we're looking at the national polls as we see here, Bernie is at 23.6%. Even if you give all of Warren's 12% to him, he's not even close to the 50% that he needs. the moderate vote is being pretty much, when it comes to Super Tuesday states, the moderate vote will be pretty evenly split, in my opinion, between Klobuchar, Buttigieg, Biden, and Bloomberg. Probably Biden and Bloomberg getting the most. They could come together at a contested convention to get more votes than Bernie Sanders, and that would just throw the election away pretty much. Um, but yeah, going back to the New Hampshire results again, we see Joe Biden and Warren did the worst. Bernie did, he did all right, could have done better, should have done better. Buttigieg and Klobuchar did the best. As we can see here, we see that 48% of voters decided on a candidate late in just the past couple of days. The Democratic Party has become fractured because of Bernie. The establishment is losing because of Bernie. And the turnout is higher than in 2016, probably because there's more candidates to vote for, but obviously not by a huge margin. Klobuchar has been getting a lot of momentum. I think we'll see that resembled in the polls. She could even make a play for New Hampshire. If we're looking at the YAPMS map here, the delegate map, we see that so far, I don't know how many, 43, we've got 50, 57, 64 delegates so far have been assigned. I think that's right. 64 have been assigned, 65, sorry, my math was a bit off there, 65 have been assigned so far, and we have 91 more to be assigned. And going into the Nevada caucus, you could even see Bernie Sanders say winning, 20, if we're looking at the polls for Nevada here, if we go to the Nevada polls, looking at this specifically, we see Biden is at 21%, Bernie at 17%, Warren at 11%. I think you'll see Warren drop a bit, which could give Bernie a boost. I think Bernie could get up to 25% of the vote. You could see Biden maybe, getting 20-something%. Steyer's at 10%, but I think I'll give Biden, 22%. I think Steyer won't get that much. I don't think he really has much momentum. I'd give him 5% maybe. You could give Warren and Buttigieg each. You could give them each. I think you give Warren about 5%, Buttigieg about 8%. And then you have Klobuchar come in. How well does Klobuchar do again? And what does this toss-up vote do? Maybe you give one to Bernie, one to Biden, and then one to Buttigieg maybe. And you could even give a couple more to Klobuchar. It's really, this could go any way at this point, but I can see Bernie winning at this point because Amy Klobuchar is taking a lot of votes away from Joe Biden. But then the moderates could say, oh, that's kind of scary, Bernie Sanders could propel himself away to the nomination because of the fact that the moderates have no clear person to stand behind. For the progressives, basically Bernie. Warren's basically fallen off the deep end. But the moderates have nobody to stand behind him. This is where I predicted in one of my last videos that Michael Bloomberg could come in and win the nomination based off of that. A fractured Democratic Party between Klobuchar and Biden. I don't think Buttigieg is actually going to do that well. It'll be interesting to see how well Klobuchar can do in a state that is not completely white like they are. But if we leave the results like that and then go to South Carolina here, this is an official prediction. This is kind of just messing around here. We see Biden is still at around 30%. I do think he'll get something similar to that, probably around 33%. Bernie will probably get, 18, 20% maybe. Warren won't really get anything. Buttigieg won't really get anything. Michael Bloomberg, you could see, might get around, that much. Won't be enough because he's not really on the ballot anyway. Klobuchar won't get much either. Steyer, could get a bit, and then you don't know about the rest of the results. So it's going to be very interesting. I still cannot predict any of these so far because, Biden's really gone off the deep end at this point. Biden has gone down in the betting odds. He's gone down in the regular polls. He's gone in all state polls. How will this go into Super Tuesday? Will Biden even survive Super Tuesday? It's going to be very interesting. And this is all based on the New Hampshire primary results. It's a small state, but it has a lot of impact. So I hope you guys all enjoyed watching this video. Please like and subscribe as always, and I will see you guys later.